Good morning and welcome to this edition of San Diego People. I'm Paul Rudy. When you flip a switch in your home, do you know where the electricity is coming from? It's an important question because you could soon get your electric bill from City Hall instead of SDG&E. As KUSI's Steve Bosch reports, it's a new program called Community Choice Aggregation, also known as CCA.
75% of the electric power generated in California comes from the three utility companies, one being SDG&E. 45% of its energy is from renewables, including wind, solar, small hydroelectric, and bioenergy. In San Diego, much of the electricity we use comes from local power plants, some burning fossil fuel. The city is considering a CCA to meet its climate action goal, 100% renewable energy, and to reduce monthly energy bills. Currently, SDG&E is 45% renewables. It needs to be at 60% by 2030 and 100% by 2045. San Diego's climate action plan is much more ambitious, requiring 100% renewables by 2035. 19 communities, including Solana Beach, have adopted CCAs, and San Diego is seriously considering it. We'll know by year's end. The city may go it alone or have other cities in the county come on board to lower the cost of purchasing power.
They're attacking the wrong part of the problem. They're rearranging how the power is purchased and resold to the grid, but the real problem is the shortage of green power.
Bill Roper says this is the wrong way to go.
Just shuffling the deck chairs, so to speak, doesn't fix the problem. It doesn't create 1 kilowatt hour of additional green power.
CCAs allow California communities to leave their utility monopoly and purchase power from various sources on the open market, ostensibly cheaper. Other communities have experienced a slightly lower cost for electricity by adopting a CCA, but how a city with over 1 million people might fare is still unknown. This is important because adopting a CCA affects what customers are going to pay. SDG&E doesn't want to lose customers. It has set up a marketing division to lobby customers to opt out of any CCA and stay with the utility. Now, under a CCA, SDG&E will continue to provide billing services and operate the power grid, and ratepayers will continue to cover the cost to maintain its distribution system. There will be a lot of debate between now and year's end before the council considers whether or not to adopt a CCA. What this really comes down to is, who do you trust, city government or SDG&E? Steve Bosch, KUSI News.
Thank you, Steve. And the wave of CCAs has even reached the mayor's office. Earlier this week, San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer stopped by Good Morning San Diego. In an array of topics discussed, he weighed in on the Community Choice Aggregation Program. Here's what he had to say.
I want to set not just the city of San Diego, but let's get other cities in the region, the county. A lot of folks have expressed interest, which is how do we attain not only our energy goals and clean energy, but most importantly, how do we help lower rates and give San Diegans that choice? So we're right in the midst of doing that now. I think we've made a lot of progress. There's some CPUC deadlines that are coming up here at the end of the calendar year. But we've said very clearly, how do we actually put some of that power back to make sure that people can make those choices when they're buying energy? SDG is always going to still continue to be the folks that work with our lines, our distribution and transmission, and it's a model that works in other places around the country. And my goal is to actually have a joint powers authority. So it's a separate entity that with professional management, folks that are very experienced, and we've seen that in other places. Again, that puts that hands in the choice in the consumer. And you'll have the option to join or the option to opt out when we come to conclusion. I think that element of choice is incredibly important, so nobody's forced to do it.
All right, so we set the table. We have